Hi, good evening. My name is Pratik Gupta and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is all about the Nobel Prize recently, in fact, today announced by the Academy regarding that who all the people who won the economics, science Nobel Prizes for 2022. So in this topic or in this particular lecture, I'm going to tell you that who are these three people and moreover, for what specific thing these people are being rewarded the Nobel Prize. You know this thing, the prize money is around 9 lakh US dollar, which is a big amount. So if you simply convert into rupee, that is almost around like when you multiply 9 lakh with around 80 rupees, currently the price is around, so that is around 7.2 crore rupees. So it's a huge amount of money these people are going to get as a part of their research. But I would say whatever kind of contribution these people have been making to the society, to the country, to the globe, as per the research, I would say whatever amount of money is being paid to them is basically very small amount of money for these people, because whatever research is being done by them is totally priceless, and that is going to benefit, I would say, not thousands, I would say lakhs and crores of peoples. Because one of the person who's being part of the list, who is being announced as a part of the winner, is Sir Bernanke. So he was also the Federal Reserve Bank of USA's chairperson when the US was facing the financial crisis. So I'll tell you what are these three people, and then after that I'll tell you that for what purpose and for what particular research these three people have been announced or rewarded the Nobel Prize winner for economic science for 2022. So these three people, as you can see in front of your screen, Bernanke, the person on the left side. Then after that, second person is Douglas Diamond, and the third person is Philip Dybvig. So these three people are being rewarded the Nobel Prize winner. Okay, so all the three are going to share the equal amount of prize money. Okay, and moreover, as I said, the money is basically nothing for these people. Now, if I'll tell you about these three people in very brief, so first of all, the full name of this Bernanke sir is Ben Shalom Bernanke. So he's an American economist who served as the 14th chairman of the Federal Reserve from 2006 to 2014. So as I just said, in 2008-2009, when the US was facing one of the financial crisis, or I would say one of the greatest crises after 1930, which was known as the Great Depression, and that was known as a recession as a part of US history. So he was the one who basically handled it, and he handled it so beautifully that is also called as a Time Person of the Year for 2009. So during his tenure as chairperson, Bernanke oversaw the Federal Reserve's response to the late 2000s financial crisis, for which he was named the 2009 Time Person of the Year. So you must be aware, like if you people are being aware about the economics, then in 2009, 2007, 8, 9, when the US was facing the crisis, India was also being kind of impacted with that. But when it comes to taking care of this particular thing in case of USA, so USA was the second country on this earth who used something called quantitative easing for the purpose of taking care of that particular crisis. So quantitative easing, that is known as a, हिंदी में बोलते हैं मात्रात्मक सहजता. Under that, what the central bank is doing, as you people are being aware about it, so I also uploaded one of the lecture regarding this particular thing on my YouTube channel, so you can refer that. So QE is basically where the central bank is offering more and more amount of money for the government bonds, and they've been trying to reduce the effective rate of interest in the market. Okay, and that has been done by the central bank in the various stages. So this person was really good in terms of handling that particular crisis that happened to the USA in 2008-9. Okay, so that is the first person who is basically rewarded the Nobel Prize for Economics for 2022. Okay, the second person is Douglas Diamond. So he's a great economist. So as you can see about him, Douglas Warren Diamond, born in 1953, is the Merton H. Miller Distinguished Service Professor of Finance at the University of Chicago Booth School of Business. So a very good school at a global level. He specializes in the study of financial intermediaries, that is nothing but the banks only. Okay, financial crisis and more about the liquidity. That means how much amount of money we need to have in the system so that the people will be able to get adequate amount of money with them, and moreover they will be able to demand things in a good way. He is a former president of the American Finance Association and the Western Finance Association. Okay, so he's a good acclaimed person, and moreover these person, I would say, are being known in their country, but as soon as they will be able to win the Nobel Prize, these people are being kind of world famous. Same thing happened in case of Amartya Sen sir also. So when he was not known to the people at a global level, as soon as he won the Nobel Prize, he was acclaimed at a global level. Okay. Now, third person, if we talk about, the person is Philip Dybvig. So he is basically an American economist. He is the Boatman's then professor of banking and finance at the Olin School of Business of Washington University in St. Louis. Dybvig specialized in asset pricing, investment, corporate governance. He was formerly a professor at Yale University and assistant professor at Princeton University. Dybvig was president of the Western Finance Association from 2002 to 2003. So one thing, all the three people are from USA. Okay, that is what these people belongs to. Now let's come to the point, like for what particular purpose these people are being awarded the Nobel Prize for Economics. See, this particular topic, if I'll tell you, when we people are discussing in the UPSC classes for economics, though normally I would say, whenever the Nobel Prize for Economics is being announced by the, by the agency, they are whatever topic for which they are being selected, I would say, hardly being discussed in the classroom. Hardly, I would say. And that is a reality. Because sometimes, the topics are not even known to the people who read economics, because economics is a study, or you can say branch of study, which is evolving in nature. Evolving means what? That people with the help of different research, analysis, they're being able to bring new things all the time. And that's why we are saying that this particular subject is evolving one. Getting? Now, in the UPSC, our course is very limited. We need to discuss few things about banking, fiscal policy, inflation, and the other. So hardly we are being touching those topics which are basically being kind of related to the UPSC Nobel laureate. But this time, whatever things, for which the Nobel Prize has been awarded, we people are having good amount of discussion in the classroom in the topic of banking, because this time it is all about banking in the Nobel Prize. Because these three people are being very well known at a global level, that how you can simply handle the bank in case of a situation called bank run. What is the meaning of bank run? Bank run means that when the people are excessively withdrawing their money from their account. Now you know this thing, what kind of pattern we have when it comes to working of bank, that people are depositing money in the bank. This money is being used by the bank for the purpose of loan. The people are giving the money back in the form of EMI, and the people are withdrawing money. Okay, so it's a normal cycle which is going on. What if excessive people will be able to start withdrawing the money? So these people provided a good amount of research that how you can save a bank when they've been facing some kind of a bank run situation. The same kind of situation recently faced by certain banks in China when a lot of people were withdrawing their money. Getting? But a lot of things were not highlighted. Why? You know this thing, the kind of democratic, or I would say there is no democratic setup over there. Okay. Secondly is that how you can save the bank when the bank is in the problem of, you can say they've been facing the problem of crisis. Like in what sense? When a lot of people are basically defaulting with the bank. When the NPAs of the banks are basically being increasing. How much amount of capital is required for the purpose of saving them? So this kind of basically research that they have done. Okay. The third situation regarding which the things have been highlighted is what? That when the banks are basically failing, how they are being impacting the other banks at a global level. Because you know this thing, today we are being living in a world where the countries are being connected and we have multinational companies, or you can say multinational banks. So you know this thing, State Bank of India is having branches in India. They also have branches in USA, Canada, Germany, Japan, and so many other countries. So in a way, all the countries are being kind of connected. So if one particular bank will fail at a global level, which is obviously having good amount of global presence, so that is going to impact the other countries also. Because the point is what? Banks are borrowing and lending among each other. Getting what I'm saying? The fourth point regarding what? When the bank is failing, or you can say the bank is in a deep issues and they're being actually get failed, that how you can simply minimize the impact on the economy. Okay, that is what they've been providing. How? With the proper behavioral study of the depositors. Getting what I'm trying to say? So point is what? These three people are basically those who are well known at a global level for the purpose of the research regarding the situation called bank run, when the banks are in crisis, when the banks are being failing, and the other thing. Getting what I'm saying? So the entire research is basically revolving around saving the banks, because you know this thing, bank is one of the institution where the people have been keeping their money. Why? Because they want to save and they also want to earn. But when the bank will fail, the people are going to face multiple issues. You must have noticed in earlier classes also, I also uploaded one of the class over the YouTube channel, that why the banks in case of our country are being failing. And these banks are specifically, as you know, these are the cooperative bank. जिन बैंकों के बारे में आपको मैंने बताया था कि सहकारी बैंक ज़्यादा फेल हो रहे हैं. And the issue I also explained, the reason is that as you have a dual kind of a control over these banks, that's why these banks are being facing multiple issues, and that's why these banks are being failing. And the people are being able to get their money out of the insurance scheme of 5 lakh rupees given by the government of India. But you know this thing, those people who are having 5 lakh or less, there is no problem. But what about those people who are having more than 5 lakh rupees in their, in those banks? So what I'm pretty sure that now, as you know, in the month of January 2023, we are going to have most probably the Basel IV norms. Okay, that we're going to have something called Basel IV norms. I'm pretty sure in this Basel IV norms, whatever amount of research, whatever amount of, kind of results these people are being able to get out of the research regarding the bank's run situation, the banks are failing, the bank crisis, moreover, the having the faith of depositors in the banks and the other, whatever research and the other things that they have done, I'm pretty sure that is going to be included as a part of Basel IV norms regarding capital adequacy norms. You can say the liquidity coverage norms. And then you can say something about net stable funding also. That these kind of things are basically those which are going to save the bank from these kind of issues. समझ पा नहीं पा रहे हैं? So point क्या है यहाँ पे मेरा बताने का आपको कि this year whatever for whatever thing the Nobel Prize has been given by this agency, I would say that has been very, very simple, and kind of a question can be expected, because something which is related, obviously a question can be framed in our examination. The question आ सकता है. So I would suggest that if you people have not revised, then please revise this, and then you will be able to know what all things that we have discussed in the classroom, how it is going to simply help you out in terms of understanding for what purpose these three people are being rewarded such a prestigious prize at a global level. तो हमारी क्लास का तो हमेशा मान के चलिए रूटीन डिस्कशन है बैंकिंग के बारे में, but something you can say it is also being discussed now at a global level. Getting what I'm trying to say? So that is what the things are regarding the Nobel Prize, and there is no something which is being very, kind of technical or kind of something which is being very knowledge based that we need to know. Obviously जिनको नहीं पता है उनको समझ में आ जाएगा, और जिनको पता है then obviously these people will be kind of happy to feel that as we are already aware about it, so obviously something known to us. चलिए आज के लेक्चर में इतना ही, ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं है. थैंक यू वेरी मच, टेक केयर एंड बाय बाय.